Notice how it's done.
All right, Faker versus G4. So we have, this is actually Phase Rush Ryze, and it is double combat sums on both sides.
Yep.
So I actually played, when I was playing in the 1v1 tournament, and I was playing Quinn, and I played against a Ryze. And he did a tank Ryze build, and went Frozen Heart and this sort of stuff. So you can do builds like that where you think of Ryze as this scaling champion.
Yep.
And he actually may be doing the Frozen Heart rush here. It could be Iceborne. It's actually Iceborne pieces, but or it could be just you going into a Catalyst or whatever. I don't actually know what he's going to do, but you can go these tanky builds, and with your mana scaling,
a lot of damage. Lands the Q, good barrier.
Okay, barrier for Ignite. That's actually preferential for G4.
Faker could almost get the kill.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is really close, that last tick. He's going to have to base right now.
Yeah. So this is lane preference for Faker here. G4 is going to try to regen with the potion.
I mean, if you could get on top of him, you can kill him because you have the barrier, but I'm just not sure that you can close the gap. So this is pretty ballsy for G4 staying around here. It does get tagged, and now Faker has a pretty big HP advantage. This is just so risky. You're hoping that you can bounce the E to him and push him back.
So that happened once. But yeah, if Faker ever dashes forward, you just slam barrier, you EWQ, and you're fine.
Yeah, but he has very little damage. This is an early game Ryze with not a lot of AP, so you're not just going to one combo the guy. You have to be pretty careful here, but G4, is staying alive, is staying around.
But as long as you trim the wave, G4 has more health because of barrier. So I think Faker actually loses almost every all-in. As long as you can get Q, right? As long as the main
you have to be able to get the Q through. 100%.
Oh, this is too far forward!
Oh,
you went down to minions!
God.
Minions!
No, that's the last range. He's okay.
8 HP. 8 HP.
Not
G4.
even close.
That was not worth it. You walked past me anyway, which is the reason you were going to win the fight.
Yeah.
No longer had minions. You're never going to win that fight against Faker.
Yeah, that was very, very close to being a first kill there for Faker. Pretty dicey for G4. He does survive, so let's see where he's going to go now. So it looks like he's towards the Lost Chapter. So just wanted the armor, the CDR, mana, kind of building an efficient item with that initial Glacial Shroud. Faker going to take away the HP pack and head on back to base. But you can do these kind of turtley builds where you would think, okay, well, why would you go Ryze? That sounds terrible. But because the experience in the gold is so escalated, is so sped up, you actually are getting to a pretty strong point, right? This is not just going to be a level 1 Ryze going up against Doran's Blade Lucian. You're going to hit high levels. You're going to have level 11 by the time the Ring of Fire spawns, and a full completed item plus some. So
yeah, you can do like Glacial Lutens, for example. Like the items right there, like go into Lost Chapter. It's like that could be your build. You're obviously not going Roa or Tier. I think those items are always wrong.
Too long to stack up.
Yeah, absolutely. But Lutens is fine.
Yeah,
and that could be your build.
I think that would be a totally reasonable choice. And some of these strategies are pretty tough. You would say, okay, well, can't you punish the guy early? But Ryze Wave Clear is very powerful, especially with all of the mana that he actually has from a build like this. Lost Chapter proccing every level, you're getting so much experience, and the Glacial Shroud, flat mana. You should be able to Wave Clear pretty much infinitely. So I don't think your turret really is under threat unless you're taking horrible trades and getting pushed back to base, which shouldn't really happen.
Faker's hitting the brush there, trying to get out of bounds range. Goes, this could be a decent trade here. Doesn't go for culling. To be fair, G4 could have pretty easily walked away perpendicularly and wouldn't have taken too much damage. There's the culling now that Phase Rush is down, and that's really good aim. Again, forcing barrier out.
Back to base again. And Faker actually does create a lot of an experience advantage here, right? He was already level 7. He's closing on level 8. He may get level 8 on this wave, or not quite. He needs one more minion for level 8, but we still have level 6 here on his opponent, so very far ahead in experience. G4 should hit 7 here, and it will close the gap somewhat, but if you can be a level up, especially when you have a combat ultimate, if you can be level 11 versus 10 or something like that in a final fight, that could be very, very impactful.
Both these camps care about level 11. For Faker, obviously it's more culling damage. For G4, it's the damage amp of the E is based on R rank. Obviously you don't care about the teleport that much, but there's a damage passive on it, so you do care in this case.
Is he going back to Frozen Heart, you think? Or are we going to see another Tabby's Vice?
Yeah,
he's going back to Frozen Heart. So this is actually what I played against.
Okay, so it's Frozen Heart Chapter.
Yeah, this is actually, the same kind of thing. Because you can essentially get what is a very efficient anti-marksman build. You're very, very tanky. You have the passive shield. You have double combat summoners. So, if you can't actually slowly chip them down and utilize your lifesteal as an advantage, it can be very, very difficult once Ryze has a number of levels to actually win what is going to be kind of like that full-on all-in. We'll see if Faker can find a way to really outplay it, but it's tough when you have that Empowered Rune Prison guaranteeing a couple rounds of those spells. And as we all know, as Ryze gets more and more levels, because he's getting a lot of damage from his mana pool,
Yep.
you don't necessarily need to have a tremendous amount of AP to put out a lot of damage.
Nope. The mana ratios are good by themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, it multiplies the AP that you've bought as well, though it's not a whole lot right now. But it's some.
It's more than none.
It is more than none. It is a relevant number that adds up over time. Faker's got the Hex Shrinker shield, but yeah, G4's pretty tanky right now, so looking for this trade. And yeah, it's decent damage. That's before press the attack. That's simply E auto Q. But you can see G4 trades it back and does more. Lifesteal for Faker's gonna help, obviously. You can see that help coming back up.
And that's why we're seeing Faker trying to posture aggressively. I think he knows he wants, you know, when you're going for these lifesteal style builds, when you have essentially 3 lifesteal items, double warrants plus the vamp, you want extended creep. You want to whittle him down and have, you know, your health being kind of spent against his so that you can then heal up off the minion wave and look for that next fight that will be going more and more towards your way. The problem is, if G4 can just keep clearing out the waves and wait for that final recall, you know, you don't have to actually engage in any sort of fight because your turret is not under any sort of threat, right? You can actually wait it out and go for that final recall, that final reset, where you will then, hopefully for the Ryze, be able to get a 100-0 type fight.
Yep. So it would have been an awkward recall for G4, chooses to stay after all. Goes in, nice damage here from Faker, can't get the third auto, means again the trade comes in, that's 130 HP gone. Faker has plenty of money in inventory, can get pretty close to, I mean, I would actually like to see a basic Last Whisper. That item in and of itself is actually quite efficient.
Yeah.
And in this build, where you're against probably a,
I don't know if Faker has enough time to recall anymore.
111 armor, he clears wave, he can recall, 100%.
Okay, yeah, he can. He clears that a lot faster than I thought he was going to. So he's fine.
Yeah.
So they're both going to have their final items. So will be the Frozen Heart build.
Yep.
It's going to be Frozen Heart. We'll see if Faker does decide to go towards something like a Last Whisper, or if he wants to go a different direction. It is Frozen Heart, double Dorans, as well as that Lost Chapter.
He's trying to wait for like a null magic. Like he's got a couple seconds and he's like, not enough time, can't do it.
You know, this is such a small thing, but you could actually sell your refillable and grab a couple health potions, because those do heal more.
I think you're capped at 2 potions, but you're right, there's still more health.
Yeah, they give 150 back instead of 100.
Yeah.
Again, very small thing, but something
theoretically it can matter.
It could matter. And you know, when you're trying to go for one of these fights, so in the end, yes, Faker has a little bit of gold advantage, but G4 can just wait this out. You can hang out. He does actually have his health pack still available, so he's going to have the current health boost right now. And that Ring of Fire is closing, so Faker is going to have a tough time cutting it out.
Pinch slow, but the wave is already gone, so the minions are helping on G4's side now as well. Good trade though. G4's in 2/3, taking 4 good damage, and he's not going to kill until the minion wave is gone, but he's letting him confused. And now as the ignites are on, looking for the killing, really good sidestepping through the barrier, dodges the Q. Faker, perfect mechanics in that fight.
Yeah, Faker pulls it off. Why did G4 go for it early though? The Ring of Fire is almost there. We keep seeing people wait the whole time for the Ring of Fire to spawn.
Yeah.
Why not just wait the extra 20 seconds?